Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Tarot with Titania reading of the week for January 20th to 27th, 2023. With that, let's get into breathing together and co-creating this wonderful reading. I invite you to close your eyes and take 3 nice deep breaths. Just pulling all of you into this here and now moment. And I invite you to envision a tree root coming down out of the base of your spine, going down deep into Mother Earth and grounding you in the here and now. Knowing that that tree root is not only grounding you and making you more present, but it is a conduit through which anything that no longer serves can easily pass down into Mother Earth and become compost for your new good growth. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I'm here with all of your children about to do the reading of the week for this week, January 20th to 27th, 2023. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information we most need to receive, and to provide that in a manner that we will easily and effortlessly hear, understand, and integrate for our personal and collective highest and greatest good. I'd like to invite my higher self and the higher selves of all those participating now and in the future to be present and add their energy to this reading, as well as an overlighting angel of communication to be present and facilitate this exchange and ensure that it happens in the highest and best way possible, and that we address all that is in our personal and collective heart and mind at this time to our satisfaction in the window that we have together today. I'd like to invite the 4 archangels to come and hold the 4 directions around us, creating a sacred container of light, love, clarity, wisdom, healing, transformation, and peace around us. Across time and space, wherever you are part of this web of light. Anything that doesn't match these frequencies of love and light is welcome to go now. Thank you, Raphael, Michael, Gabriel, and Uriel for being here with us, holding this beautiful space. And so we begin. All right. Creator, what do we most need to know this week? Once again, for our highest and greatest good, as we continue our journey on the planet at this time, navigating the ups and downs and all arounds of being in a human body, being here now, helping to shift the collective in good ways for our personal and collective highest and greatest good. Okay. Here we go. Recent past, important and relevant to our present. This is the card of the devil, the major arcana card of self-delusion, of telling ourselves stories maybe to help ourselves to feel better. It can also be the card of addiction. It's a card of believing that which isn't true, or believing that which is unreal, or giving power to something that is not necessarily what we think it really is. Often the devil is portrayed as an angel peeping out from behind the mask of a devil, understanding that everything is for us. Everything is serving our highest and greatest good, even if it has the appearance of a devil. So this is sitting in our recent past. It means that we have an understanding and a grasp of how to see through illusion, how to push past addiction, how to push past the limitation or the belief that the three-dimensional is all there is. All of that is contained in the devil. It definitely is about contraction, trying to make us believe we're smaller than we are, that this is all we are, a three-dimensional, bag of flesh is all we are, rather than the spiritual beings having a human experience. There's a lot of that contained in the card of the devil. It's about being diminished in our greatness. It's about believing perhaps lies, or suffering under misapprehension of what is truly going on, or what is true and authentic and congruent. All this aspect is understanding that it does serve us in some way. At some point we do wake up. At some point we do say enough. At some point we do rise up and say, okay, enough. I'm not doing that to myself anymore. I'm not doing that to others anymore. I am choosing light. I'm choosing clarity. I'm choosing to understand that I'm much more than this. Another times in the symbolism of the devil, we have Adam and Eve standing, and they have chains around their necks. But the chains are designed, when you see them, they could easily take them off. It's understanding that we are the ones choosing our prisons. We are the ones choosing the limitations that we believe in. And when we become aware of that, we can choose to see differently and choose to make different choices about where our attention and our energy is flowing. So that is sitting in the recent past. it's important and relevant going forward this week. Ooh, a second major arcana, and we have the card of strength. And so here we have the lovely feminine character here, and she has the infinity symbol activated in the top of her head, which means that she's tuned in, tapped in, turned on. She's connected to the broader, wiser part of her. She understands that she's so much more than just a body on a planet having a biochemical experience. And she's made friends with this lion. The lion had a thorn in its paw, and through her gentleness and kindness, she was able to help the lion and remove the paw. And as a result, she has gained the loyalty of the lion. Now, the lion symbolizes our animal nature, our animal selves. And the woman symbolizes the higher aspect, the spiritual aspect, the broader, wiser part of us that we all have. We all have the lower, more animal aspect, the more human body form, if you will. And we also have the broader, wiser, intelligent, capable, intuitive, more energetic, maybe, aspect to ourselves. And so this card is reminding us of the strength that comes when we ally within ourselves. We don't diminish the human or the animal experience. We understand that it is our key and our gateway to being here. It's our opportunity to rise and transcend the limitations that we perceive, to become more than we were. Ultimately, like I said, it is all serving us. It is all part of our greater good. But we get there so much faster when we ally with ourselves, when we become strong within ourselves, when we learn to tap in and have more of that broader, wiser part of us in our human animal experience of being here now, having more of that consciousness infiltrating and permeating and holding the field of energy that our cells and our biology is immersed in. These are all wonderful aspects of what we're seeing here in these cards. So it's coming back to understanding that we are so much more, and that's something that we can intentionally cultivate. Practices, as we've talked about many times, meditation, yoga, qigong, tai chi, just for example. And I know there are others, that's my experience and my knowledge base. These are all practices that help us to hold more light and more energy and frequency in the field of our humanness. And so having a practice like that is incredibly powerful because it enables us to be more than we were. And as a result of that, bathing in that field of light and energy, we change, we transform, we make different choices from that place. It's a lovely, lovely energetic set point. The near future, we have the card of indecision. And what I always think is so interesting about this card is she has her sword drawn. She's ready. She's ready to take action, ready to be ready. But she's in a still point. She doesn't know what to take action on. And so she's waiting. And the download of information is coming down through her crown chakra. And so rather than wasting her energy deflecting this stuff, she's still, she's calm, she's centered, she's poised, waiting for the insight, the understanding to come so she can take the best right action in the perfect moment. Because that's how things go when we stop and we tune in and we become connected to the broader, wiser part of us. So this is sitting in the near future, this sort of what we're moving towards. You know, it's like clarifying and navigating and getting past the limitations, the beliefs, the things that we've been holding that have been stopping us. It may even be just the belief in being a three-dimensional being and that that's all we are. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a big part of this, the reading potential that we could get out of this card. And also this card in the present about allying with ourselves, understanding that we are so much more than the animal aspect of our nature. And when we do that, then we realize that we're guided by a far greater level of consciousness and awareness. We're not just reacting, we are responding. We are more than a three-dimensional bag of flesh having an experience on the earth at this time. We're so much more. And as we come up against things that maybe are unclear or we're confused about, it's okay to take time to pause, to be still, to receive the information that we are asking for, and then to take action from that, not dissipating our strength or our energy or our attention by dealing with all the little niggly bits that are coming at us, but staying clean and clear, poised and focused on the good, on the highest, broadest, wisest part of us. And I think we're better able to navigate all that incoming crud by understanding what this card relates to, that three-dimensionality, and that that's all there are, and that belief in limitation. We are so, so much more. Okay, and then the foundation card for the reading this week, we have the Princess of Wands, which is new beginnings on the level of creativity, inspiration, and passion. This is the element of fire, and so this is grounding our reading this week. This is why we're having the reading. It's an opening for us on this level to be more expressed, to be more creative, to be more passionate, to have more access to our Kundalini life force energy, our generative power. And that will help us to move our life in directions that are far more fulfilling and satisfying. So this week, it's looking for ways to tap into this energy that will be so nourishing for us, that help to inspire us. Looking, again, for the inspiration. We have these lovely butterflies of inspiration sort of coming in and firing our creative imagination, firing our creative generative capacity to move us in new directions and take us in new ways. So there's this lovely energy of new, refreshed, generative inspiration that's coming our way. And it will, and this whole thing, it's what's grounding us this week. And so this transcending of the material and of the limitation and of the belief in what's holding us back, transcending that, allying with ourselves, becoming all of us, not deriding our physicality, but understanding that our physicality is the compass, being here in this body at this time. All aspects, body, mind, heart, and spirit, need to be integrated and allied with in order for us as individuals to be whole and complete and powerful in co-creating our future together. And then from that whole still place, accessing our broader, wiser self and taking action from that place, or pausing until it's time to take action and not allowing ourselves to be diminished or distracted by anything else that's going on, but coming back and focusing on what is centered and grounded and important to us. And we know that have better access to that when we are tuned in, tapped in, turned on through whatever practice it is that gets you to ground, including going out and walking in nature and maybe hugging a tree or two. And then of course this generative quality, this new beginnings in the level of the generative energy, which is for me, it's been feeling a little bit spring-like where I am, which is unseasonal, but there's that renewal energy that comes with that feeling of the return of more light, the return of more sunshine, the return of plants producing oxygen, and all of that stuff just sort of fills me with more life and more light and more anticipation and eagerness for what is to come. And that's tapping into those qualities here with this card. Okay, so this is the spread for this week. Look for these new beginnings and this refreshment on the level of inspiration, creativity, and passion. That's our foundation this week. It's what we need to give our attention to. And with that, let's pull our card to grow on. Okay, Creator, what is it that we need to know going forward this week? What would be a good synopsis, a good summary of all the distinctions that we are gathering this week in order to move ourselves congruently and beautifully and smoothly forward in good ways, embracing more of our power and our authenticity and our creativity and our wisdom? How lovely. The Queen of Hearts. So the Queen of Hearts is like the quintessential mother card of the deck. Very feminine, very intuitive, very empathetic, very kind, very sympathetic. She really understands humanity at a deep level, on the emotional level, because of course hearts have to do with the water sign, and water sign is emotions. It's also the collective consciousness, how we are all connected through our field of consciousness that is humanity. And so the Queen of Hearts is a master of understanding this. She really gets people. She's able to listen to them deeply and bring out the good in them and see the good in them, validate the good in them, and draw it from them. And so this week, as we go forward, it's tapping into our intuitive self, tapping into those aspects of the feminine that make us more empathetic, kinder, more connected, more intuitive. Allowing ourselves to explore that a little bit, to drop into that way of knowing, which is very different than the mind and logic and analysis. We have room for all of it. This is the thing too important. One is not better than the other. They're simply different aspects of us. It's part of that that allyship within ourselves to leverage all these different aspects of who we are and use them for our good and for the good of those around us on this beautiful planet. And this week we're being encouraged to drop into our hearts, to feel our way, especially when we're in relationship with others, when we're in communication with others, to be really present to what are you reading when you meet somebody, and learning to listen to that other knowingness that exists when we come from our hearts and we come from the field of understanding rather than the mind of understanding. So that's our card to grow on this week, tapping into intuition and to connection and to there's a lot of peace that comes with this one as well, it feels like this week. But just allowing ourselves to, and the other aspect of that is nurturing, allowing ourselves to be nurturing of ourselves, that's always important, and of others in appropriate ways. So that's our card to grow on this week, tapping into the feminine aspect of the water sign, of intuition, of nurturing, of connection, of understanding, of compassion and wisdom. Very lovely. Okay. And with that, take that nice deep breath and come back to you. Come back to your heart. Come back to your beautiful, beautiful body. Ally with that aspect of you, which is your physicality, knowing that it is part of your brilliance. It is where your wisdom resides. It is your compass to your wisdom, what is best and most appropriate for you in every moment. Let's close our eyes. One more deep breath. Creator, this is your daughter Titania. I want to thank you once again for being able to do this reading here and now for all of us, for our good, so that we can all rise. We can understand ourselves better, find greater compassion and kindness for ourselves and thus for others, so that we all walk this journey with more wisdom, with more discernment, with more kindness, with more compassion. Understanding that we are all taking the journey and even the difficult bits are for us. And we are learning to transcend the belief and limitations that have been holding us and rise to new levels of connection within ourselves and right action and perfect timing with that connection to the broader, wiser part of us. I'm looking forward to this renewal of inspiration and passion this week. And I'm also looking forward to being more heart open, heart-centered, seeing that in others, seeing, evoking, and affirming the highest and best in others, and knowing that as I do that, so they too shall do that for me. I want to thank all those who helped to hold this space today. I want to thank you for being here this week once again. This is quite the journey we are all undertaking, and I appreciate you for being here and being part of it and adding your energy to this reading and making it what it is. Much love and light. Onward and upward. We'll see you next week.